So you've decided to start a cotton candy business. First off, welcome. You've made that decision. Now what? Well, just like climbing Mount Everest, it all begins with one step, and that first step for your business starts right now. So go grab your notebook and your favorite pen because your business isn't going to start itself. Let's go. Hey there, and welcome to the first real episode of Cotton Candy 101. I'm Jeff with Bombshell Sweets. When I started Bombshell Sweets in 2017, it was with a very clear vision to make cotton candy for adults, flavors that spoke to adult taste buds. And I'll be honest with you, there wasn't a lot of help out there when I got started. All I kept hearing was buy an expensive machine, buy some pink or blue sugar, throw it in some bags. And probably the most discouraging advice I got was no one cares about flavor. They only choose by color. Now I was pretty discouraged, but I fought ahead and I got through it. But this isn't about my story. Today is about you writing your story. So let's get started. Here's what we're going to cover in the very first episode. We're going to cover what kind of cotton candy do you want to make? What is your startup budget? How to name your business and start building your brand. Permitting, yeah, we got to talk about it. Social media and website. So let's jump in. Step one, grab your notebook. I told you were going to need it. On the front, about middle of there, write My Cotton Candy Business. This notebook is where you're going to write all your ideas, your list, your notes, your inspiration, your goals. All of it will live in this notebook. Now, make sure you leave a little space at the top because that's where you're going to put your cotton candy business name, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Now, here's the big question, and the most important one you're going to ask yourself. What kind of cotton candy business do you want to build? I know, you're probably thinking, I just want to make cotton candy. But hold on. That's kind of like saying you want to build a house, and the first step is choosing throw pillows. You need to build your foundation first. Now let's talk about the three main types of cotton candy businesses. The first is mass-produced pink or blue. These are the classics. Big fluffy cones at carnivals, colorful bags at fairs. It's nostalgic, it's familiar, and honestly, it's still a great business model. If you aren't that driven by gourmet flavors or one-on-one interactions, and you want simplicity, this is a great option. Now, the second option, one that we're quite fond of, is gourmet and multi-flavor pre-packs. This is what we at Bombshell Sweets specialize in. These babies right here. Unique flavors pre-packaged in containers. Now, this is a great idea if you are passionate about flavors and you want to be known for flavors. Being pre-packaged gives a lot of advantages, as sometimes it's a lot easier to get into events and your requirements are a lot easier at events. Now, there are also some drawbacks. You get some leftovers sometimes, higher supply cost, and losing the draw of spinning live at events, which honestly brings people in. We're going to go in a little bit more into prepackaged in a later episode, just kind of wanted to bring it up right now. Now, the third and last option is probably the most popular nowadays, and that is live spinning to order at events. This is becoming super popular. Think weddings, markets, private events. It's interactive, it's fun, and it's one of the most affordable ways to get started. Customers come up, pick a flavor from a list of flavors, and you spin it live right there on the spot. This is great if you are a passionate networker, if you want to focus on smaller events, private parties, and the one-on-one interaction is your jam. And this can also be one of the lower startup cost options, so it's something to consider as well. Remember, there's no right or wrong choice here, but knowing your focus will help you make the decisions moving forward. Most importantly, what kind of machine you're going to want. And yes, many businesses mix and match, but for right now, we want you to start with one strong direction. Don't try to do everything all at once. Trust me, the rabbit holes are real. Let's talk budget. We all want to make money. That's why we're doing this. But you're going to need to spend some money first. Now, we're going to talk a lot more about machines in the next episode, but realize this is most likely going to be your most expensive purchase. But first step, this is what I want you to do, is grab your notebook, open it to a fresh page, and at the very top, write budget, And directly below that, I want you to write how much can you realistically spend to get started today. The reason I start with what can you spend instead of what do you need is because it's really easy to overspend at the very beginning. The last thing I want you to feel is a bunch of pressure to make sales at your first event because you need to feed your family. That's not what we want. When we started Bombshell Sweets, it was with $300 in our kitchen. You don't have to, nor should you ever go into debt to start a cotton candy business. Now let's talk about branding. Picking a name is more than just slapping some words together. It tells your story. Here's a few things that I want you to consider. Are you only doing cotton candy? If not, avoid niche words like fluff or spin. Do you want to include a regional vibe? Words like coastal, panhandle, northwest, those can all help ground your brand in a recognizable place. Do you want to use your personal name? If so, realize that it can make your business seem a little bit smaller and it might make it harder to scale or sell in the future. At the end of the day, your name tells your story. I get asked a lot about AI. Should I use ChatGPT to come up with my business name? I am not a fan of using AI to make final decisions. I like AI to create inspiration. So this is what I recommend. Go to ChatGPT, ask it for the top 5 unique or fun cotton candy business names. Then take that list and use it as inspiration to come up with your business name. Now, once you land on a name, you need to do a quick search of social media to make sure that name is available, and you can even do a quick trademark search. You do not want to make the mistake of using someone else's name and then not finding out until later on down the road. Next, we're going to talk about logos. There's a lot of different ways to do logos. AI is a good resource for this as well, but realize if you use AI, it's going to be noticeable that that's how your logo was generated, and some people are okay with that. Personally, I'm a fan of using a service called Fiverr. It's relatively inexpensive, and it can help generate a logo for you. That's how we came up with our very first logo. Here's a little bit of a pro tip. I'm not a fan of logos with square shapes or rectangle shapes as the background. I like transparent backgrounds because it's easier when you put it on a shirt so you don't have a shape as the background. Next, we got to get into some not fun stuff, which is permits. Every state and even most counties and cities within those states have specific rules. Here's what you need to do. Reach out to your health department and ask them, what do you need to do to start making cotton candy? Keep it simple. A lot of information can confuse them. We like to joke that you can ask 5 health department people and you get 10 different answers. So whatever you are told, get it in writing or a link to a website where you can print that off. If your area has really, really strict rules, you might need to revise what kind of a cotton candy business you are going to do to abide by those rules. Social media and websites. Here's a hot take. You do not want a website right away. Trust me on this one. I wish we had not started a website right away because over the years, as our business changed, we've had to do many, many redesigns. Now, social media, that is something you want to do right away. Once you have your business name figured out, get onto social media and see if those names have been taken. But you also want to limit what social media you are on. I recommend 1 or 2 different social media platforms and gear those to the customers you're going after. If you're going after families, Facebook is a great option. If you're going after younger people, Instagram or TikTok might be good options for you. Remember, slice of life content always wins. Show the behind the scenes stuff. Show the messy stuff. People love real stuff on social media. Last little tip or food for thought. When you are getting started, it is very easy to get caught up in the business of doing business. What I mean by that is there are so many little things that can be done. It's easy to go down the aforementioned rabbit holes. Focus on the basics. Focus on getting to your first sale, which should be your first goal. Things like websites, marketing programs, trademarks, networking groups, signing up for every app or platform that comes your way. Those are good things, but they're not what you need to focus on right now. All right, that was a lot that we went over in this episode, but before we move on to the next episode, I want to make sure you have these questions written down and answered. What kind of cotton candy business do you want to make? What is the name of your business? Have you secured all your social media handles? Have you reached out to your local health department and found out what you need to get started? The next time we're going to be digging into the deep stuff, the startup purchases, the machine, supplies, all the necessary stuff to actually get you up and running. So don't forget your notebook, and we'll see you in the next episode of Cotton Candy 101.